Ben is showing that in less time. You can't say Ben didn't have a line of an arm as Boris. And mind you, not two Wemby's, but it's a different time now. The
Yep.
game is so much
Yep.
better and so much deeper. And I would tell you, hats off to Brian for making sure he understands that about his game. And you just can't live, so to speak, off and feast or famine on the hardcore season. And I like what this final says about his commitment to get better on clay. I like what his results will teach him to believe in himself in the clay court season coming forward. Quite frankly, Alvin, I like what this says about his chances in the French.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
player that's hanging right above top 10, let's be honest, most top 10s, you don't really have Vegas odds on winning the French. But if you have a little momentum and the guys across the net know it's okay to lose to you because you're playing well right now, that bodes well going into the French Open.
I don't know if
He
I want to
he
go
went
that
he went
far.
well, but no. It's not that I give him the chance of winning the French.
Okay.
I give him a chance now, and all he needs is to get through his draw, have somebody knock off the seed, the higher seed in that draw, and he might just have himself a chance at the semi. And at
It could
that
be one of
point,
those. It could be one of
it
those
could be one of
scenarios where
those
like
tournaments.
you're looking at the rankings right now. You see how the seeds are kind of shaping up for the French Open. Like if he catches somebody like a Jack Draper in the round of
Oh,
16 or quarter or
dude,
something like that, like if Jack gets that far, or like Jack's
man,
seeded so high that he can't hold that seed, and like a quarter opens up, or maybe Novak is not where he needs to be yet, so his quarter opens up.
thank
I
you.
could see him sneaking. I mean, he's
Sneaking
made
in.
two
Hey, maybe
semis
even
of
drawing
Grand
an Alex
Slams.
de Minaur or even a fellow
Sure.
countryman like like Taylor or like
Or
Tommy.
Tommy,
You
yeah.
you can't say he doesn't walk in that match saying I don't have a chance.
I just
So and I go ahead.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, I'm with you as far as like he could do his job to hold his seed and then take advantage of something that opens up. When you start getting into the like, do I feel like his chances are decent against like someone like an Alexander Zverev or a Sinner or a Carlos or even a Runa or a Feast? Like we start. I feel like their adaptness on the
Peace,
clay is just a
peace. I
little
say yes. Runa, it's gonna be tough for him. Runa loves to run, but you get the other three you mentioned. Obviously, Zverev, tough.
yeah.
He's a clay court. Patience is his middle name. Obviously, Alcaraz and center might be tough sledding,
Maybe even Casper
but
Ruud. Like there's just a lot of
Casper
guys
Ruud,
there that
dude,
can.
he would pay good money if he could find a way to guarantee Casper Ruud. And I only say that to say Alvin, that Alex Zverev is just at the cut of that because it's clay and because and he's a veteran, right? Everybody else is fair game. Here's what I learned when I was on the tour several years with some players. There's this talk around the locker room, and what you always want the competition to say about you is he's playing well right now.
Yeah.
Meaning, meaning, it's okay to lose to you right now. If you're getting beat routinely, if there's blood in the water, it's almost disrespectful if you could knock that guy off during that time frame.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to win. At least win the match you should win. When you hear those 5 words, oh, so and so's playing well right now, it's almost an excuse to lose to that guy because he's confident. He's hitting the ball. He's feeling the ball. Whatever you want to call it,
Too good. He's playing too good right now.
he's just playing well right now. And I lost to so and so, but he's playing well right now.
Or as the juniors would say, he's treeing a little bit.
He's trend. Oh God, he's on fire right now. Now, you want that being said about you going into a tournament. Let's say this next week. And is he playing Madrid?
I haven't
Ben?
looked at the draw, but probably it's a thousand. So
It's
yeah,
1,000. So let's assume he's playing. He goes in this tournament and has another nice showing. Quarters are better. You don't. I don't count him out, right? I don't count him out in the French. And that again, I want to get back to what we talked about earlier with those other guys. I don't put Feast in there yet, and I'm a huge Feast fan. But to me, Feast, like a Ben Shelton, they're trying to put themselves in the top 5 category. They're
yeah,
trying to be in that conversation. And they have to beat the man to be the man to be in that conversation. You're not just going to inherit that due to a couple of decent results. And no offense to Draper and no offense to Mensick, but those guys were some one-offs at some 1,000s that happened to take advantage of. And Mensick, I give it a ton of credit because he beat Novak in route.
I'll
No
actually
offense.
give Jack Draper more credit than I'll give Mensick because Jack has actually been putting it together since like right before Wimbledon of last year. So like
Uh,
he's had
and
some really he's
and and
building,
and
you know.
and fair enough. I'm getting at the tournament itself. He inherited a pretty good draw, and things turned out well for him going through. He knocked out a few seeds. Don't get me wrong. What I'm getting at is it seemed like everybody laid up goose eggs, including Zverev and others, in that tournament. And I'm speaking more to those guys aren't they haven't done as much sense on the clay, and now we're going into. I would love to draw a Jack Draper. I would love to draw, a Jakob Mensik. I would love to draw some other guys in that turn if I'm playing well and I'm over clay court. I
Right.
was impressed when Ben beat Cerundolo, and I'm like, and that tough second set we won a long breaker. I was like, you
Yep.
know what? This tells me the kid can be patient if he has to.
Yep.
This told me, and Toronto's not. He's not a Gustavo Querrey, but he is Latin American, good on clay, and patient. And it told me that if you can be a Cerundolo type player on clay in that kind of a match, you've got patience when you need it. And I love the fact what it said for Ben as a young American who we as Americans historically haven't been known to be very good clay court. Uh,
Well, as an
uh,
aside, I'm starting to believe that Cerundolo's flag is giving him a little bit too much of
nah, I hear you.
a clay court bump. Because I
you were
even
you were waving his flag 2 weeks ago.
on this very podcast in this very seat, I called Cerundolo a proper clay quarter, and now when I look back and I go, you know, he's actually like he's kind of like uh he's one of those guys that's like he's Latin, but like
No,
not but
he's top
not
20 in the world. His
right.
ranking right now is a little overbaked. He's 20 in the world. He's not 10. He's not 3. He's
Yeah,
he's
he's solid.
15, whatever it might be,
He's
13,
solid.
whatever he is
Yeah,
right now. Solid, very solid.
he's solid.
But he's the litmus test for the 20 to 15 in the world. He's not 5 in the world. And I think that's the issue. And I love the kid. I think he's a good little player. He's a little older than you think.
He's older
He's
than
a
you
little,
think.
and with that we'll get that later. But he's
Yeah,
also he's maximized his profile. I love your term. He's maximized his profile, and good for him. Hey, that he's put himself in the conversation in the quarters of some of these kind of tournaments. I
absolutely.
think Ben is trying to regain form from that. What was it, semi of Australia and a few other tournaments he had back. He's trying to regain some form to let everybody know it wasn't a fluke. And
Yeah,
I think that he's well on his way doing it, in my opinion, at a very unlikely event uh, on the clay.